The fact that Bryan could just decide, you know what, I'm done as a full-time guy. I keep losing the words for what I want to say. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome back to the Rambling About Wrestling podcast. I am your host, Nick Pearl, and AEW WrestleDream 2024. Woo! There were a lot of matches that were just thrown together, which is fine. I enjoyed it. It was great. But what we're talking about today, Bryan Danielson, formerly known as Daniel Bryan, is finished. He is no longer a full-time wrestler. Just the fact that this is coming out of my mouth, I cannot believe it. I thought we were going to have him hold this championship until World's End, where Wheeler Yuta would beat him for the belt, passing of the torch moment. But it was reported that Bryan wanted Jon Moxley to be the one to take the belt off of him. They came into AEW, started off the Blackpool Combat Club together, and now they finished off the Blackpool Combat Club together. It's very bittersweet. He's had one hell of a run in AEW, winning a world championship that Tony Khan forced him to win. He never wanted to be world champ. He had to be a part of that lineage. For all the stuff he's done for this company, come on. When Sting retired, he retired on top as a tag team champion with Darby. Bryan retiring, he goes out on a stretcher, doing a job. It's exactly how he would have wanted to go out. I would be more upset if he was done wrestling 100%. But the fact that it's just full-time, it's all right. I'll take him on a John Cena type schedule. Cena's got that one last retirement run going on. Bryan's probably going to have the same. He could still beat Moxley in a rematch. Not for the belt, but he could still beat him in a rematch. I don't think Moxley's going to have a long run. He's a 4-time AEW World Champion. You've never had that before. He's the first person to do it. Crazy stat. Well-deserved. His storyline is the best one going right now. What's happening next? Moxley said AEW is not our company anymore. He took our guy, Bryan Danielson, away. Who's going to step in and take that spot? I keep losing the words for what I want to say because I was just shocked. The crowd, look at the reactions. Bryan gets put in that chokehold by Moxley and Bryan passes out. Ref regrettably calls for the bell. Crowd speechless. People crying. Bryan's last match in WWE, what happened? Oh, he passed out to Roman. He now passes out to Moxley. If you want to end a pay-per-view in the worst way possible, with people still being excited for what's to come, this is how you do it. Wheeler Yuta coming out after cutting a whole promo about his aunt being in the hospital. He couldn't stand watching Moxley put that bag over Bryan's head. Now Wheeler's the one that did it. He's in limbo. He doesn't know what to do. He can't take sides. He's in the middle. He's very frustrated. He didn't want to do what he did. But he gets in that zone. Snap of a finger. Slap him in the face. Do him wrong. He'll be out of control. The reason he did this to Bryan is because Bryan didn't help him when he was down. So why would Wheeler help Bryan when he's down? Wheeler's star power is going to go up like a rocket. You got Darby Allin, who it should have been him in this spot. Darby feels like it's all his fault. If Darby had beaten Moxley at Grand Slam, Bryan wouldn't have gotten beaten down so badly. Bryan still would have maybe lost the match, but at least it would be a show of respect afterwards. Orange Cassidy never had a singles match opportunity for a world championship. He's been in a trios match, but never been in a singles for the world title. The one time that they start bringing this up, Bryan's out. You end the show with the both of them looking on in despair. The futures of this company, watching the legend ending his career, getting beaten up. While this whole thing was going down, by the way, Darby was tied, duct taped to the ring. He can't do anything. He can't do a single thing to help Bryan. And that's all he wants to do. So not only is there guilt on Wheeler, there's guilt on Darby, and there's also guilt on Orange Cassidy. He's never had the opportunity to help. He's just been there, standing there with his hands in his pockets. No. The fact that Bryan could just decide, you know what, I'm done as a full-time guy right now. And he can go and help all of these guys in one segment drawing all this emotion from the crowd. That's something Bryan does best. Drawing all this emotion and giving it to the people that need it. We now care about Orange Cassidy, Darby Allin, Wheeler Yuta, and AEW as a company. Is Bryan going to get that surgery that he's been saying he needs? Or is it a farce? Does he really not need surgery? He likes to say, Cody Rhodes taught him how to lie. It's a lot of fun to lie. You never know with Bryan. He's one of the most overdramatic people you will ever meet, much like Cody Rhodes. The ending of this pay-per-view, I know people didn't like it. I know nobody wanted to see it. But you got 2 AEW pay-per-views in a row, ending with the bad guy coming out on top. When the good guy gets the job done, beats Jon Moxley in the middle of that ring, it's going to mean so much more. Because they're not only doing it for themselves. They're not just doing it for Bryan Danielson, but they're also doing it for AEW. Don't expect this to be the last piece of gold that comes to these guys either. You got Claudio, he's got issues with Okada. Claudio's going to be the one to take that belt off of Okada. I'm telling you, it's going to happen. Claudio's frustrations started coming from losing to Okada or not getting the job done in 20 minutes. You're going to have Moxley as the world champ, Claudio as the continental champ, Wheeler Yuta will get another belt, Pac will get another belt. While I feel Wheeler should be the one to beat Moxley for that world title, it's probably going to be Darby Allin at Grand Slam. AEW's got a problem that they have so many guys that could be world champion at the same time. They've had it since before Samoa Joe won the belt. They could be doing a ton of switches. You had Bryan have a short run, Moxley could have a short run. Either he loses it at World's End, or he loses it at Grand Slam Australia. You could have Darby Allin beat him. You could have Jay White beat him. Jay White's got problems with Christian. Darby's got problems with Christian. Christian could cash in his contract at any moment. How long could Christian even hold his contract for? There's a lot of questions that we don't have the answer to. But coming up on Dynamite this week, the picture's going to be painted. It's going to be much more clear to us where they're going in the future. But if anything, expect Orange Cassidy, Darby Allin, and Wheeler Yuta to play major parts in this story. Wheeler Yuta's going to have to pick sides. He's got to beat his own demons. So those are my thoughts coming out of this pay-per-view. The main event delivered as expected. The finish, people may feel it was a little flat. It needed to be done. Bryan would not have gone out any other way. From watching him in NXT, going with the Nexus, United States Champion, World Heavyweight Champion, WWE Champion, then the little Intercontinental title reign that he had. Thinking he's retired, to coming back, going to AEW, putting on insane matches, and now he's done? It's just insane to think that I've seen pretty much this whole guy's career unfold right in front of my eyes. And Bryan's not the only one retiring from my childhood. John Cena's on the retirement run. We've seen Sting hang up the boots. The Undertaker. Who's next? I don't want to see people leave. But if you look at the Attitude Era and eras before, you didn't get these retirement angles. They would have a match and they just simply did not resign and that was it. They were ridden off of TV. We have the respect factor now. It's only fair that they get to go out on their own terms, leaving the crowd happy and thankful for everything that they've ever done. So I've been your host, Nick Pearl. Bryan Danielson, it has been an honor getting to watch your full-time career. Whatever ends up happening next as a part-time guy, I hope you're not part-time like Roman Reigns was. I hope you're more like a John Cena, where you show up for a couple of months, then you're gone for a couple of months. I'll catch you all on the next one. Let's keep rambling, everybody.